Guys, I almost gave up the agency game at least 4 times, and I almost became a full time pastor. I'm not playing with you. 3 months ago, I almost became flat out a psychologist slash full time ministry. I was going to dive into church, and now I'm becoming a part owner of a 7 figure agency. All right, so here's how I did it. All right, I'm going to tell you guys how I did it, and more importantly, the lessons. Because I'm telling you guys, I started this whole estimate game back in 2018. All right, 2018. It's what is that? That's about 6 years. We were 6 years in a game. I didn't make a dime up until really last year. And yes, we hit 50K a month and all of that. Like we hit numbers, but I'm talking profit. And so in this video, I'm going to clearly outline what you need to do to hit profit, right? What you need to do to level up and actually get your online business to make you money. Because I was in your shoes. I thought I always saw the numbers. I saw 100K. I saw, people hitting these big numbers. I never thought in the back of my head there was a belief that is this really possible? Am I really able to have 100K in the bank? Now I know I'm close. Like I'm like there. Like I see the numbers going up in my bank account and it's getting close. But I never really, really, really believed it until this switch happened. All right, so just to give you guys an entire story. 2018. You guys can go to my IG stories. I have this entire thing documented. 2018, I actually flew out to 2018, 2019. I flew out to California. All right. I bought E-Man's course for the agency game and I tried to do my own thing. And then I started to see somebody from E-Man's testimonials. So this is when E-Man was recording testimonials with students. And there's this guy named Steven. I'm not going to put him on blast, but Steven had an agency and he sounded very smart and he was already running an agency. So I was like, you know what? Let me reach out to this guy. And so I ended up talking to the guy. He convinced me to work for him. And so I was like, I was like 21, 20 at the time. And so I decided, drop out of college. And I'm going to go from Philadelphia, where I'm from, all the way to California. And this is obviously being an Asian immigrant parent, from Asian immigrant parents. They expected me to go to college. I was supposed to go to college. I was supposed to get a degree. I was supposed to get a 9-to-5 job, right? But I didn't. And I told them I'm going to go after my dreams. And that was one of the hardest things I did. And I actually never even told them I was dropping out of college. They had to find out. I was literally at the Starbucks down the street from our house, which is the stupidest thing I could have done if I was skipping class. And I was in the Starbucks cold calling and trying to figure out ads. And they walk into the coffee shop because I wasn't smart enough to go, a couple minutes down. And they realized I was dropping out of college. So anyways, long story short, this is what happens. I go to Steven's place and there's about 10 other people. I still am a little bit in contact with those guys, right? There's about 10 guys that he convinced to move across from Texas, from Philadelphia, from God knows where. We had a guy come from UK, Leslie, if you're watching this, shout out to you, right? And we all got this 1-bedroom apartment in Irvine, California. Looking back, this was actually one of my favorite times. I had such a blast. Even though we were eating peanut butter. Guys, we were 10 guys in 1 bedroom in Irvine. Irvine's a very nice area of California. We were 10 guys in 1 bedroom. I remember our neighbors would be like, what is happening here? Like, there's like 10 people in this place coming in and out. We got a black man coming out. We got an Asian guy coming out. We got another white guy coming out. We got a freaking Mexican coming out. We had a Mexican coming out. Shout out to you, Nick, right? And we were just trying to make it work. Long story short, I was the last guy after like 12 months who stuck it through, right? And in that 12 months, I made probably $500 in total of 12 months. Total, okay? And I didn't care at all because what was happening was I knew I was living a better life. Even if the quality of life wasn't better, I was leveling up myself. And that to me felt right. That to me was a better life, right? Compared to being at home, being with my friends. I used to smoke weed all the time. I used to drink alcohol. I used to go to parties. And so I was out of that lifestyle. I was in another environment and I was leveling up and I was growing. I was really growing. And so Steven, long story short, that didn't work out. And that agency fell to the ground, but I learned a lot. And so here I am. I had leased a car in California because at the time I just didn't know what I was getting myself into. But we needed a company car. And so everybody thought Caleb would be great to put it on his credit, because I was the only one that didn't have any credit or even bad credit. So they put it down on my name, and I didn't understand like anything with the financials. And so I had this car I couldn't pay for, and we went like 6 months without paying for that thing. Well, actually, we went 12 months after that. So, that car got repoed. I fought it back and I paid it off. But that was a long story. So I had this car. I'm in California. It was a 1 year into it. Didn't work out. I felt like a failure. I was going to go back to my parents and tell them it didn't work out. And so I drove it back from California to Philadelphia. And on that drive, I was really able to contemplate and think, all right. And so I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. I met a really good mentor, Chris Chae, Korean American as well. And he has, 1.5, 2 million followers, a hustler. I mean, this guy, I worked under this guy as a video editor. He was running a restaurant. So I was in the restaurant game, just decided to work there. And I learned everything about hustle. Fast forward, I decided to start my own agency. This is COVID. So COVID happened and I partnered with Eli. And at this point, I was like 3-4 years trying to figure this out. And I still had not figured it out. I still didn't hit 10K a month. So me thinking 100K a month was hard and now hitting it, to now thinking that I was in the same mindset, but for 10K a month. And so I always thought like 10K was a goal, and I just never got there, even after 3 years, right? And so what happened, this is what happened. COVID happened. I decided, my buddy Eli was here, and this is the power of partnerships, right? This is the power of partnering with the right people. If you could take this tip away, right, this will change your life. Find good partners. If you can find a good partner, I am convinced you can make almost every business work past 7 figures if you find a good partner. So I had found Eli, and I said, Eli, you know what? Like we owe this to our family. Like we owe this to your mom, your dad, my mom, my dad, my brothers, your brother. So let's make it happen. And so I bootlegged. Yes, I bootlegged the course. Joel Kaplan, I already told you, man, that I bootlegged your course. And I ended up paying him a lot of money, so it's all good. And I met him for dinner, so we're all good there. But I bootlegged this course, and that's when everything changed for me. When I went through Joel's course for the very first time, he was showing me his bank account. Right, that was one of his very first videos, which I think he has public now on his YouTube. He would log in and do a refresh check. And I've never had anybody refresh check their actual account. It was like a Bank of America account. And I was like, oh, like it's a real account. And it had like $2.5 million in cash in that account, right? In that account. And so I'm, like I said, I've never had more than $10,000 in my bank account. Never. And so when I saw him have 2.5 million in cash, and then I heard that he went to the college that was right next to my house, that's when I was like, it was just a moment. I remember it so clearly. He was showing me his bank account. It was like 1 o'clock at night, and I was in the same city next, like literally 5 minutes away from the college that he used to go to. And it was just like an epiphany moment, right? That was my epiphany moment. And I realized this was possible. This was possible. And that's a big thing, was the belief and the conviction that it's possible. So once I saw that, I was sold. Like the conviction moved me so much that you can ask Eli for the next 1 or 2 weeks. I did not get out of that room. I built the entire agency. I tell everybody, I went from 3 years of struggling to get like 1 or 2 clients to then in 2 weeks building an infrastructure for a 30K a month agency. The demo deck, the sales call, the intro call. I built the ads for the clients. I built everything, the client management, the portal, everything. I built all of it because, Joel's course was just so great. It was like a copy and paste. And I was so convicted. And so I go to Eli and say, this is the business plan. Let's rock. Fast forward, in 1 month of me not being able to hit even 2K a month, 1K a month for the past 3 years, in 1 month, we hit 10K a month. What happened? What changed? The belief. And I'll tell you the same thing that I did to hit 100K a month, right? So 10K a month, boom, 1 month. And then in a matter of like 2 to 3 months, we're hitting 25, 30K a month. Right, and then we hit a high of 50K a month. What changed? The belief, the conviction. Nothing else changed. Nothing else. The same person, same as guy, Caleb. Now I had leveled up some habits, some discipline, but it was the belief that turned me into a different person, raised my floor, turned me into a different character, and I was operating from this, right? And ever since that, I never made less than 10K a month. However, let me get to this conversation now. So I played this whole game of agency. Since that day, I kept doing the agency, right? And what I didn't have an identity of yet was someone that is good with their finances and has 100K in their bank in cash, right? I didn't have that identity yet. And so the next goal was 100K a month, right? But I never thought about profit. I always thought about revenue. And here's an important lesson. You need to prioritize profit no matter what. Your bank account that number needs to go up every month. Do not play this lie that revenue, that you can worry about profit later. You can still grow your agency and profit now, and you should profit every month. I am such a big advocate of this now. And if you're running an agency right now and you're not profiting, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it completely wrong. I realize the agency game, you're actually, this business model is supposed to allow you to profit the most. It's the most consistent. It's the most reliable. You should be cash flow heavy. And I'm talking 25, 50K in your bank account every month. And if you don't think that's real, it is real because we're doing it right now. And I used to never think it was real. I heard it and I was in the game for 3 years. So do not let yourself be in the game and not actually get the fruits of your labor. It's easy to be in the game. It's hard to actually benefit from the game. Do not play the game to just play the game. Play the game to win the game. You following? So I wish I would have known that because I was just playing the game all the way up to this point. Even up to this year, I was just playing the game. But when I played the game to win the game, which means developing myself, raising my floor, raising my character, and actually getting what I need from business, which is profit, then now I was winning the game. And you know what happens? When you start winning the game, and I'm by far not winning the game right now, I'm just saying, when you start to get wins under your belt, and the business starts to serve you, and it's putting 20K in your bank account, it's putting 50K in your bank account, it's putting 100K in your bank account, whether or not you believe it, you get those small wins of profit every month after you pay yourself, after you pay your team, after you pay your expenses, and there's like 10K left over. You want to work more. Okay, I'll promise you that. That's one thing I'll promise you. When you start profiting 10K after you pay out all your expenses, net income, net profit is 10K a month. You'll like business. All these people are saying, "Oh, business is hard." All this is because they're not making money. Business is hard because you're not making money. You don't like business because you're not making money. If business, hear me out. If business was making you money and you were making 20, 30K a month in cash, post-tax, you'd be coming to me, you'd be saying, "Hey, dude, I love business. I love getting up in the morning. I love it. I understand." And I'm recording this video to let you know that is possible. All right, that is possible. That is so possible. If you're not doing that right now, again, you're doing it wrong. All right, I backtracked. So let me get this right. So now, where am I at now? Guess what? What did I do? I partnered with somebody that has a 7-figure agency. Zach has been running a 7-figure agency for the past 2-3 years. He's been running one of the best agencies for the past 5 years. Shout out to Zach. Has a killer partner. And now I'm partnered with his agency. Now, how did that happen, right? Can anybody just go to a 7-figure agency owner and start partnering with them? No. Why? And this is the lesson. I realized even if I didn't make profit for the past 6 years, what I did get out of it was patience. and I developed myself as the person who is worthy of hitting 7 figures. A person that is worthy of hitting 7 figures and profiting a lot from his agency. I became worthy of that person. I just came back from a jog, that's why I'm shirtless. And I wanted to come right on. When I'm shirtless, guys, you guys know it's a real video because I just don't want to lose my flow. Right? And I was so inspired when I was running because I've been running every single day for the past freaking 4 to 5 weeks. I haven't watched porn in 4 months. I know I'm spitting all these things. I'm making the most profit that I've ever made. Like all of these things are happening because I just stayed patient. So what I want to say here is that you must be the person. And even if you're not, you haven't made a lot of profit, just ask yourself, are you the person that deserves to make that much? And if you are, just stay consistent. Stick with it. All right. So that is my journey in a nutshell, right? Conviction, have faith in yourself, play the game to win the game, right? To win the game, and partner with some good people in your life. That's it. And if you want to learn and work with us, we'll pay you well. Right now, we're looking for a few roles, but really, if you're smart, you're in the agency game, you want to learn from 2 7-figure agency owners now. And I think I'm great. I am great at marketing, copywriting, and just people development. And then Zach's great at really all those things as well. Operations heavy, and really he's one of the smartest guys when I really see the product and the way that he operates. He's just a really good operator. He's consistent, no ego, one of the hardest working guys, if not one of the hardest working guys for me in my life. And so just a huge inspiration. You get to learn with us and grow with us, right? We're gonna hit 200K a month, 300K a month in the next quarter, and then we're looking to take things to $1 million a month. And so we need the right team and the right people to do that with. So if you're at all interested, right? Right now we're looking for a CSM role, account manager, client success. Really, that's going to transition into an ops manager, COO, or even a CEO, and you'll have profit share with our company. And we're just looking to go deep with an agency, maybe even build a couple of agencies. But we're going to do it, and we're going to teach you everything along the way. All right. So if you're interested, I'll always include the link to apply with our team. And you guys might be watching this video. The very last, I'm going to say this: like, what is Caleb's intentions? I don't have anything to sell you, obviously, guys, but I do want you to join my team, right? Our team. I want you to join our team because I believe we're trying to do right by people. I'm trying to build a culture of people that get together, agencies that, just people that want to do good work, want to build a really big agency into one team. And we could do retreats. We could go to Mexico together. We could get a villa and just build the agency together, grow as brothers, have that brotherhood, really be there for each other. And if we could do that for the next 3 to 5 years, everyone gets paid well, right? Everyone gets paid well, 5K plus, 10K plus. Like, we're all just cashing in and building something really great and having a great time doing it together. That's the thing I envision. And I promise you I'm going to build that. And I want you guys to see it. So I'm going to document that journey. But if you're interested, apply down below. Peace.